Hello. Let me know if you can hear me alright, and if the audio balance is okay. I'm gonna wait a few minutes before we get started. Hi friends, how's everybody doing tonight? Please let me know how audio levels are. I didn't actually test them before jumping on, but I'm happy to adjust. Audio good, excellent, thank you so much. Alright, I guess I'll go ahead and get started here. A little background. I don't know anything about this game. I know a tiny bit about this game. Another game in this series was recommended to me, and I haven't played that one yet, but that game and this one and another were all on sale in a bundle together, so I bought them all, and this one looked the most, I don't know, this one was just the one I was in the mood for of the three. One of them is called Varney Lake. That's the one that was recommended to me, and that's like a kind of a like what if Stand By Me also there was a vampire, is what I've heard. But anyway, this is a series of games called Pixel Pulps, which are, from my understanding, sort of visual novels based on pulp fiction, particularly like mid-20th century pulp fiction and sort of 80s home computer graphics. And this one is set in 1966, and I assume has Mothmen in it. Real quick up front, like I said, I haven't played this game, so I don't know exactly what the story is going to be about, but the Steam page does offer some content warnings, so just to list those off at the beginning, the Steam page says, this game includes dialogue pertaining to adult themes, including women's reproductive health and domestic violence. So just a heads up for anyone watching. I don't know when and how often that comes up, because I have not played it, but I imagine at some point it will. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started here, and we're gonna check this out. Ooh, the volume got louder. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. Three red and 5 black in the discard pile. Of the 6 cards face up on the counter, 2 are red and 4 are black. So 5 red in all and 9 black. You have no more moves, so you have to bet now. With so many black cards drawn, it feels natural to choose red. Numbers should be on your side. Even though you've already chosen, you decide to stay away from the counter. You can't bear losing again. You think of your grandma Elsie trying to win at solitaire for over 60 years. You take a deep breath and keep sweeping. Elsie's been paralyzed from the waist down since she was 21. Your mom was only 2 months old. The winter Elsie taught you to play solitaire. Your parents and sister had been dead for almost a year, and you'd already begun to forget their faces. Although you cook for her, do the laundry, bathe, and even dress her, it still feels like she's the one taking care of you. You close your eyes and almost feel Elsie stroking your hair. You're 11 years old again, kneeling next to her bed, crying your heart out. Suddenly the bell rings and you feel an invisible force trying to drag you into the present. You decide to stay a few more seconds at the edge of your grandma's bed, her fingers running through your hair, pushing away the images that haunt you. You hear the bell a second time, and then a third. Now you know it can't be a customer. Those fucking kids. You don't know what comes over you, but you yell some things at them that you're too ashamed to remember. You justify yourself thinking that they might be the ones who got into your garage that night and stole some parts of the replica machine gun you're building. Oh, interesting, okay. You won't let anyone mess with your project. The Winnin steam machine gun is the jewel of your collection. The kids yell at you, "Old freak," and laugh, sheltered by distance. Deep down you know it can't be them. How would they know which parts of the machine gun were worth stealing? Anyway, that guard dog's being brought over in a few days, and you'll be able to stop worrying. You try to calm down. You look at the shelves and think of the solitaire your grandma taught you. Your grandma always said that everyone has their place in the world, and that people keep dancing around it without ever reaching it. To win this solitaire, you have to stop dancing. You know that the chances of winning are incredibly low, almost zero. You can't bring yourself to turn over the next card and decide to start sorting the shelves instead. Doing simple jobs builds up your self-confidence and provides you some illusion of control. Oh boy, okay, we're gonna sort some shelves. Anyway, how's everybody in the chat? Hi, Lily. Welcome. How are you today? I'm hanging out sorting shelves. Oh good, I'm glad your driving lesson went well at least. It's always good when something goes well. Good. One type of product on each shelf. Whoa. You scratch your head. This time, sorting the shelves doesn't help. You feel the same urgency as before, and you can't think of anything else. Is the card going to be red? You need it to be red. Suddenly, the air seems heavy, and you find it a bit difficult to breathe. 3 men in black are staring at you. Through the window, you see a black Cadillac by the pump. Yes? You wish you'd asked them how they got into the station without you hearing the door open. Or how they left the car there without the bell ringing. But that trembling yes was the only thing you managed to utter. The moose. The moose? After a few seconds of not receiving any response, you decide to break the silence. Thoughts in chat? Should I give them directions to the moose, or should I ask what's up with the moose? I do want to know what the moose is. I predict I will find out. Ask about the moose. Seems dangerous to ask 3 men in black who pulled up in a black Cadillac a question, but I'm gonna do it. You bought a woman whiskey. You don't know if it's the right move, but you try to relax and be more friendly. Do you know of a more effective way to socialize? You told her the dream about your grandma. A chill runs through your body. It's been a few weeks since that night, and even though you had a good time with Martha and have no regrets, something about the way these men in black ask their questions makes you uneasy. What do you want to know? Granny in the forest. One of the men farther back lets out a cracking noise. You look at him, believing he's laughing, but the man in black's expression doesn't change. I don't want to keep questioning them. I'm frightened of authority. My grandma has been bedridden for over 60 years, but in the dream I saw her running through the woods. Start from the beginning. And don't omit any details. You don't know if it's the way they look at you or because of a certain authority in their voice, but you tell them everything about the dream. 5 or 6 weeks ago, you woke up in the middle of the night certain that something had happened to your grandma. You ran up to her room and Elsie wasn't in bed. The window was wide open. You ran to it and saw someone walking through the trees. It was her, and she was holding a rifle of the kind your ancestors would have carried in the Civil War. You tried to call out to her. Your grandma started running and shot 2 or 3 times into the blackness of the forest. You were about to go down to find her when a winged figure with glowing red eyes appeared in front of the window and screamed. A winged figure with glowing red eyes, is it? That sounds like Mothman. You stumbled backwards, and after hitting your head on the bedpost, you lost consciousness. You woke up in your bed and remembered the dream almost instantly. You went up the stairs 2 at a time and opened the door to her room. Your grandmother slept peacefully. On the bedside table was the glass of milk you bring her every night, and the deck of cards she uses to play solitaire. During the days that followed, you tried to convince yourself that it had all been a dream, even though you couldn't explain where the little stitches at the base of your skull had come from. After a few seconds, one of the men in black speaks again. The spots on her leg predate her birth, Holt. What is he talking about? Is he referring to the dozens of moles on your grandma's legs? And what do they mean by saying those spots predate her birth? Elsie always makes the same joke when you sponge her calves. Be thankful that you have to clean my legs and not my grandfather's. According to what she told you, her granddad had been shot dead by an experimental weapon early in the Civil War, where his legs were ripped to shreds. The Winnen's steam gun, son. A machine gun that doesn't appear in any book. You think about the replica you're putting together in the workshop, and you wonder if it was the men in black who had stolen those pieces. You're not telling anyone else about this visit, Holt. You start to complain when one of the men in black picks up a card from the counter. The top card of the deck. Oh dear. The crunch horrifies you. The teeth of the man in black seem to tear more than simply paper. Desperate, you throw yourself under the counter and look for the card. Your heart is pounding. Yeah, chomp indeed, Lily. You look out the window and you don't see the Cadillac. You walk to where the car was parked a few moments ago. You step on the hose, and the bell rings. What the fuck? Jack of Diamonds. Red. I knew it. You think about the edge one of the men in black tore off, and you remember the noise he made when he chewed it. Was it a threat? A warning? You wonder if you should tell your grandma everything that happened, or just keep your mouth shut. And keep playing solitaire with a marked card. That's our prologue, I guess. Alright. Lee. What's wrong? I told you, it's nothing. That damn pause again. There's something she's not saying. The Mustang purrs, you shake your head, feeling sad inside. The sound of an engine hides no secrets. Lee, you're right. You bite your lip and sigh. Why is everything so damn hard? Victoria settles into her seat. Let's start over, okay? Where are we going? It's a surprise. Please. No, Vic, have some patience. You'll never forget this night. Victoria giggles, and you think this is the best gift in the world. For a moment, you forget all the previous discussions, your obsessions. A giggle, a friendly gesture, making someone feel good ain't rocket science. You look at the clock and can't believe your eyes. You left your house on time, but you're pretty late. How could you step on the gas? Lee, Lee! You scratch the side of your head. Wow, you really hate being told how to drive. Lee? Why doesn't she just tell you to slow down? You take your foot off the gas. Thanks. You're trying your best. You really think Victoria could be the one. The one. Your dad once said the perfect woman doesn't exist. Couples form when people get tired of looking and just give up. You remember your mother's rants, all those women's names she rattled off as if they were part of an endless grocery list. You won't end up like him. Anything but that. You try to smile and force yourself to be more cheerful. You want a clue? Yes! Victoria looks into your eyes, and you feel a warmth on your face that takes you by surprise. You felt the same thing the first time you saw her in college. You keep looking at her for a few seconds that seem like forever. What, do I have a booger? Where? You can't help laughing out loud, and have a hard time containing the urge to kiss her. Alright, chat. Should I give her a clue about the origin, give her a clue about the date, or give her a clue about the myth? Don't know what any of these mean. Can't wait to find out. Lily says myth. Myth it is. One would be a source of superstition, but we're talking thousands. A source of superstition? A black cat? Victoria looks at you expectantly, desperate to be right. Cold. Alright, origin or date? Date. Oh, we're tied. Origin, date, origin. Okay, origin it is. It comes from far away. That's not a helpful hint, but okay. Victoria makes a gesture for you to complete the sentence. You just shrug. It comes from far away. I mean, that could be anything. Guess then. The circus? It's a stupid guess, but sure. Freezing cold. Alright, I'm gonna give her a clue about the date. It happened 100 years ago. Victoria answers almost immediately. After all, you're both majoring in history. The end of the Civil War? No, not in 1865. I mean exactly 100 years ago, Vic. Oh, let me think then. You're running out of time. There was a cholera outbreak in 1866, right? That would be a wild... We're going on a date to commemorate a cholera outbreak in 1866. Yeah, that's a hot date. No. And how twisted do you think I am to set up a date themed around a cholera outbreak from a century ago? I'm glad Lee gets it. Victoria laughs and hits you on the shoulder. You chuckle and act like it hurt. No, Vic, just give me a minute. You won't guess it unless... You reach out to open the glove box and Victoria grabs your wrist. Better leave it to me. Victoria opens the glove box and examines its contents. A folder, a box, a flashlight. What are you looking for exactly? Folder, box, or flashlight, chat? What do you think? Folder def. Folder it is. Victoria opens the folder and examines the documents. Some papers, insurance details. Do you want me to read some of this? You shake your head. Box? I'm leaning box here. Let's do box. Victoria takes out the box and opens it. Let's see what you've been hiding. You think about saying something, but you instantly regret it and keep your mouth shut. Spare change, a lighter, a pack of cigarettes. Nothing to worry about, I reckon. Keep looking, please. A book. 1966 Shelby Mustang. The car handbook? No, not that. What else? He really made her look at every single item in this stupid car until he got to the thing she was actually looking for. Jesus Christ. Already got everything out. 1 second, there's this too. Victoria stretches out her hand and you finally grab the map you wanted. It was folded against the bottom of the glove box. You start talking and Victoria interrupts you. Hold that thought while I put everything back. You put the map on the dashboard while Victoria puts away the folder, the box, the flashlight. Vic, you know I like it tidy in here. Ha, very funny. Vic flicks through the book she found. Red Badge of Courage? Haven't you read this book 1,000 times already? You know she's testing you. Vic knows exactly why you carry it everywhere. The novel that portrays the era you're obsessed with like no other. Okay, that's a character trait to have. What the hell is this? Suddenly you remember you're using the pencil sketch that Victoria drew of you in one of your classes as a bookmark. A sketch she begged you with tears in her eyes to destroy, and you swore you already had. Vic, I'm sorry. I swear. Watch out! Uh-oh. You swerve to avoid a shape in the road. Is it Mothman? Is it Mothman? Is the shape Mothman? Victoria looks back. Lee? We almost ran that thing over. You put your hand on Vic's shoulder, trying to reassure her. Victoria points ahead. Just keep your eyes on the road, please. She's doing it again, telling you how to drive. At least this time she came right out with it instead of just saying Lee disapprovingly. You try to control yourself, but it's hard. It's not just this last thing, but the buildup of all the small gestures. You take the map and throw it in her lap. Victoria raises her arms in disbelief. The Leonids, Victoria. We're going to have dinner watching the Leonids. Victoria says nothing. Forgive me for trying to arrange the perfect date. Is it really a perfect date if she had no idea what was happening? Maybe I have different standards for a perfect date than some people. You try to keep silent, but you can't hold it in. A meteor shower. Lee does seem like kind of a dick. Yes, exactly, Lily. I mean, I'm sure he's supposed to, but like, damn. Calm down, man. A phenomenon associated with the passage of the Temple-Tuttle Comet every 33 years. Victoria keeps staring ahead. In 1866, there was one of the most spectacular meteor showers ever recorded. I saw some lithographs in the library. Victoria doesn't even move. Everyone makes a wish on a shooting star. Imagine how many wishes you can make with thousands of stars shooting through the sky. Victoria settles in her seat. Girl, you can do better. You know what, Lee? Shut up. You've never heard that tone before from her. Just keep quiet until we reach... She pauses as she examines the map you threw on her lap. Holt Station? You feel your heart pounding. Your hands are shaking. That's what she wants? For you to keep quiet? For you not to say a goddamn word? Your hands grip the wheel tight. All the preparations you made for tonight. Your friend Freddie had worked out the ideal place to see them in all their splendor, away from the city lights. And when you noticed Holt Station was inside the area, you didn't hesitate. But now Vic had ruined it. There he is! Oh no, it's just a bat. I thought it was Mothman. What the fuck? Oh my god. Something hits the Mustang's antenna. What the hell is that? Stop. Lee, stop. Should we stop the car? Don't stop the car? Lee wouldn't stop the car. I feel that really strongly in my heart. Lee doesn't like being told what to do. Look, Lily, I thought it was gonna be Mothman. I was so excited. He'll show up eventually, right? He has to. I'm not gonna stop the car. For some reason you don't understand. You speed up. Oh, for some reason you don't understand. Parse that wrong. There we go. Slow down. Lee, please. Lee. Lee, I'm pregnant. Victoria's words make no sense. The Mustang hits the edge of the road, flipping the car over spectacularly. Neither of you survive. Oh wow, I didn't know I could lose this game. But we've lost to the game. Great news. Thanks for coming, everybody. Time down. I'm just kidding. Wow, that was... Okay. Well, now we know that we have to stop the car. The stakes just got way higher. I really did not think this was going to be something we could lose. Oh, it brings us right back here, though. That's fine. You slam on the brakes. Instinctively, you put a hand in front of Victoria to keep her from hitting the windshield. You get out of the car and find a dead bat in front of the headlights. The animal had hit the antenna and somehow got entangled. Gross. Oh, gross. You can't believe it. What are the odds of something like this happening? Don't bats have some kind of advanced echolocation system, like a submarine sonar? What starts as a simple grunt in your throat emerges as a helpless scream. Fuck! This is what I get for trying to do something different. We should have gone to the movies. Lee. Vic's whispering. It doesn't take long to see why. God, this art looks so cool. This looks so good. I already think that the art in this is really fun, but this image is so... Oh. Phenomenal. Love it. Over there. The coyote is watching you from where the dark of the forest meets the light of the moon. This doesn't look like a coyote to me. It's not lizard-like enough to be a coyote. Vic, we got this. It's not interested in us. You point to the dead bat. They're scavengers. You hear a growl that quickly multiplies. Oh god. Oh, there's so many of them. Suddenly you're surrounded. It's not the first time you face coyotes in the woods, but you aren't taking any chances. When I say, run to the car as fast as you can. They're right next to the car. They're not that far. You try to recall all the advice you've heard for situations like these. Make lots of noise, wave your arms around. One of the coyotes in front of you approaches. Watching the pixelated coyotes slowly move and appear is so good. Should we yell and gesture? I think we yell and gesture. We have to let her get to the car, right? Ugh, too late. Sorry. I'm like, I can't parse this image enough to figure out which of these coyotes is strategic to yell at. Probably left here? Oh, another coyote advances. You look into its watery, bloodshot eyes. Oh god. Shit. 3 coyotes advance at once. Yelling or waving your arms around won't be enough this time. No coyote advance this time. It's your chance to go on the offensive. I think at this point we should run to the car. If we die, it'll bring us right back here. It'll be fine, I think. Nope. That was bad. You try to reach the car, but ferocious teeth intercept you. The death screens are cool, though. Damn. I really had no idea what to expect from this game, but these death screens rule. Encouraged by your screams, the rest of the coyotes soon join the feast. Great. Let's retry. Alright. We'll yell at this one. We'll yell at this one. We'll yell at this one again. If we don't yell when they're close, they'll kill us. We'll bang on the hood. Then we'll throw a stone. Oh, 4 stones. Okay, that's something. Alright. Thoughts here about which one of these coyotes I should throw this stone at. Would love to hear them. I'm thinking the one on the right. Yeah, Lily says right. I think that feels... Yeah, I think so. Coyote retreats. I think we gotta keep throwing, so we have 3 of them. I think we should try to get rid of all the ones on our side of the car. Oh, hell yeah. Alright, I've got 4 stones, so I might as well throw as many as I've got. Now we'll run. Okay, cool. So we literally just had to get rid of all of the coyotes. Oh, and I got an achievement. You get in the car, close the doors, and Victoria starts laughing. Although you know the reaction is more adrenaline than anything else, you start laughing too, and then kiss her. You start up the car, and the V8 roars into life. You resume the trip. After a few wordless minutes, you suddenly remember something. Holt, Vic. We're going to Holt's gas station. Victoria starts whistling. The doubts, the fears, everything seems a bit ridiculous now. You think about the plans you made for tonight and smile. Nothing like saving yourself and your girlfriend from ravenous coyotes to, like, put you back in the romantic mood and make you forget about being angry at one another. Personally, that's when I feel the most romantic. Post-coyote attack. Alright, chapter 2's Victoria. Maybe she'll be objectively better than Lee. Lee turns off the car and looks you in the eye. He smiles. And that smile seriously pisses you off. Ooh. Should I smile back? Should I tell Lee? I have to assume this is telling Lee that I'm pregnant, given the brief glimpse into the future we saw in our ill-fated attempt to speed the car up. I'm also going to grab a hoodie a second, but feel free to chime in the chat which of these I should pick. It's just cold in here. Alright, what do we think in chat? Tell him? Lily says tell him. Lily's in charge tonight. Before you oh, okay, that didn't matter. Before you can open your mouth, Lee taps you on the leg. Wait here, Vic. I swear you won't believe it. You bite your lip and take a deep breath. You see him greet someone. Holt? Lee had written Holt Station on the map he'd thrown in your lap 20 minutes ago. He'd written it by hand, and it might as well have said Hort Station, or Halt Station. Hell Station, even. Wow, that's subtle. Lee's handwriting has always been intriguing to you. You remember that time you mentioned it to him, and he responded with a disproportionate anger. Girl, get out of this relationship. A nonsensical rant which involved several philosophers of language. Girl, get away. Girl, get away. Girl, you cannot run fast enough. Better to be eaten by coyotes than this, I swear. And all because you told him his handwriting was dreadful. But you now know where those reactions come from. Interesting. The night the two of you got drunk by the lake, Lee told you that his father would have wanted... sorry. clearing my throat. Lee told you that his father would have wanted to be born ugly. After the initial surprise, you couldn't stifle a belly laugh, and Lee looked down. For a few minutes, he didn't want to tell you anything else. You finally convinced him to continue. I always got what I wanted just by smiling. Ugly people have to develop other muscles. Unfortunately, those other muscles are the ones that last. You couldn't believe those words had come out of the mouth of a flesh and blood human being. Maybe some poorly written character from a cheap romantic novel, but Lee's father? You picture Lee that night, throwing pebbles from the shore while telling you everything about his father's teachings. All that frustration. Was that the night you got pregnant? You'd both been drinking. Suddenly you find it difficult to breathe. The interior of the car feels like it's getting smaller and smaller. You need some air. I think we should be friendly. I think we should say hi to Holt. Holt, right? Holt seems startled. Hello? Calling it Lee's dad is Mothman? Yeah, absolutely. Mothman does have pretty people privilege. This is Victoria, my girlfriend. Be right back, Vic. You see them walk away with a box they took out of the trunk. And from the effort Holt's putting in, it seems heavy. What's inside the box? What's in the box? It's a head. It's a decapitated head. You're not stupid. You know that Lee has some business on the side beyond his work as an intern at the university. You heard some rumors and you have your suspicions. However, you never did too much digging. You preferred to keep it a mystery, something to make Lee a little more interesting. My God. My God. Woman. Please. Please. You light a cigarette. Oh good, more bad decisions. Would Lee be a good father? No, he wouldn't. You know the answer to that. And the question you still haven't had the courage to ask, would you be a good mother? I don't know enough about her to answer that question. The clicks repeat at irregular intervals. Small moths approach the light to get electrocuted. Is that love, Victoria? You laugh and shake your head from side to side. You think of all the manuscripts you've torn up. Yes, she's smoking while pregnant, but granted, it is the 60s, and that was normal then. So it's harder to blame her for a fault that is more of a cultural norm than anything else. Hi, Gus. Welcome. Good graphics indeed. You've tried poetry, drawing. History seemed like an obvious choice. You don't need any talent to be a historian. Okay. Fair play. Oh. Hello? The man talks to himself while holding something in his hand. Have you seen any winged creatures flying over the area yet? I mean, we hit a bat with our car. Does that count? We haven't seen Mothman, if that's what you're asking. For a moment, you think he's asking some kind of tricky question, and you remain silent. However, something about him tells you that he's genuinely asking. You look at the man bathed in the shine of the streetlight, and the scene fascinates you. Surreal, some of your old friends would have said. The ones that organized poetry nights and read... I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce this French name. That's not happening. Excuse me, you are? Oh, yes, sorry, hi. Hill. Lou Hill. Writer. Victoria Greenberry. History student. Okay, we're getting... Thanks, Gus, that's really helpful. So Lee is an intern at the university, and she's a student still. So if there weren't enough red flags... Lily, I also read that as hi, which is why I said hi first. Winged creatures, Mr. Hill? Lou, please. Can I call you Victoria? You nod. I'm looking into about a dozen reports, Victoria. Numerous witnesses claim to have seen human-sized winged creatures flying over the area. Mothmen! Angels? No, girl, they're Mothmen. Lou smiles, but the smile doesn't last long on his face. Look there, at the top of the trees. It won't take you long to find one. You aim at the area Lou just told you. Everything's blurry, so you decide to adjust the binoculars. Oh, come on. I don't know anything about what I should be trying to do here. I guess I'll just... See, now I'm just afraid that I'm gonna die because I picked the wrong minigame option. But I guess we probably can't die... That's getting worse. We probably can't die by fucking up the binoculars. Right? The focus is making this worse. I don't know what a diopter... Anyone know what a diopter is? Oh. Oh no, we had it. No! I saw him for a second. I saw the Mothman. There he is. I can't do the other eye. Okay, great. Adjusted to see the same with both eyes and then focus. Okay. I do think this, like, Cthulhu-esque blurry Mothman monster is pretty good. Oh, that's right. What? I can't move it in either direction? That seems... This isn't... I think I broke it, guys. Any suggestions here? I would love to make Lou do it, but that's not an option. Yeah, Lily, if you'd look it up, that would be great. Adjust the diopter back and then adjust focus? The point of adjusting the diopter was to make the images the same, though, was it not? Oops, I just did the same thing twice. No, so what the diopter is doing is it's just adjusting the left eye. So we're supposed to get them to match. And then... Right? Or do you have to go all the way this way? Oh, there we go. Okay. Thanks, friends. We did it. We got Mothman. What the? It was just a second. Oh, I got an achievement! I got an achievement for seeing Mothman! It was just a second, but you think you saw something up there. Was it suggestion? I don't think they're angels, Victoria. But before I tell you my theory, I need your help. Could you draw in this notebook what you just saw? He's just got a drawing of Mothman in his notebook. Yeah, I can draw what I just saw. At any other time, you'd have refused with some witty comment, but there's something about Lou Hill that invites you to play along. You wonder if it's the fact that he presented himself as a writer had something to do with it. Oh. Little owl head, huge owl head, or alien-like head? Little owl head. Design the Mothman that this is the Mothman that lives in my heart. No, these legs aren't right. Whoops. I clicked the same thing. Weird bird-like legs? Weird bird-like legs. That's pretty good. Before giving it back, you write some notes further describing what you saw. Lou hadn't asked for them, but somehow they make you feel less anxious. Mood, girl, mood. You never felt confident about your work. I got an achievement for being a reliable witness. Lou looks at the notebook for a few seconds that feel too long. You think about that time you showed your sketches to your art teacher and how he embarrassed you in front of the rest of the class. Motherfucker. What? Sorry. I was talking to myself. You can't help but blush. Victoria. Ugh, he's back. I was hoping he was gone forever. I was hoping Mothman got him. Yeah, I easily could have drawn it wrong and handed it back to him. But given that we've already died twice, I figured it behooved me to be correct. All good? Although he seems to be talking to you, Lee keeps staring at Lou. Lou Hill, writer. Lou holds out his hand. Lee Miller, historian, you're an intern, fuck off. Lee walks over and puts his arms around you, his back to Lou. You know he must have been annoyed that Lou introduced himself as a writer. Although it's hard for you to admit it, you like to be hugged. You feel safe. You think you would also feel safe in your grandmother's arms or in the arms of any of the other strong women in your family. Girl, leave him. You remember all those biologist what? Arguments you hate so much, and you can't help but smile. It's like you're cheating when nobody's looking. Come on, Vic. Let's see the surprise. Close your eyes. Yeah, fine. You close your eyes and let Lee guide you. Now open them. Oh, little picnic table. For the meteor shower. So what do you think? Oh, there's a dog in the background. I guess Holt from the prologue got his guard dog. That seems useful, given the Mothmen situation. A romantic dinner for two under the same meteor shower that amazed our ancestors. You instinctively put your hand to your belly, and when you realize it, you quickly put it in your pocket. You look at the dog tied to the post. Ooh, the dog growls into the dark. This dog does not like Mothmen. Alright, back to Holt. You've known Lou Hill for a few months now. Gus, you're absolutely right. The music slaps. The graphics are good. The music slaps. It's all great. The first time you talked to him was at the Moose. Lou was looking for information about some unusual lights in the sky. Nobody would talk to him. Before going to the restroom, you went over to his table and suggested he buys people a drink first. When you got back, Lou was already talking to Rick and Stella, their tongues sufficiently loosened. Lou raised his glass in your direction and smiled. Although it wasn't you who gave him the nickname, you'd still feel a little guilty. Since that night, most locals refer to him as Lou Refill Hill. What do you recall about the encounter with these men in black? You smile. What does he mean? It had only been a week. You think about how to answer. You know Lou, he loves asking questions, so you're going to tell him one thing and one thing only. No follow-up questions. I'm not telling him about my grandma's legs. I was specifically instructed not to tell anybody about the dream. So I am going to tell him about how one of them bit a card. One of the men in black bit a card and told me not to tell anyone about their visit. Lou listens carefully. He seems to hesitate and you seize the opportunity to change the subject. You know otherwise he'd keep asking you about the encounter all night. Red or black? What? The card. Red. You turn over the card. It's red. Good. It's the solitaire my grandma taught me. No one could ever win it. Lou suddenly seems interested. And how do you play it? I would love to explain it because I would love to hear how this solitaire game works. I've been waiting. Rules are simple. But winning? There's a reason why it's called the Impossible Solitaire. Let me show you how. Ooh, oh, there's our Jack of Hearts. Was it Jack of Hearts or Jack of Diamonds with the corner bit off? The objective is to move every card from the board to the discard pile. You can move any card whose rank is one higher or one lower than the topmost card in the discard pile. So let's say there's a 5 in the discard pile, you can either place a 4 or 6 on top of it. And remember that if there's a king in the discard pile, you can place an ace. Ace comes after king, and the opposite is also true. So, 28 cards to move. Seems easy enough, right? Oh my god. This is gonna take forever. Is this Spider Solitaire? Is that what it is? I've never played this, but I have not played a lot of solitaire games. Because I never find them fun, if I'm honest. When you're stuck, you turn over a card from the stock to the discard pile. But to turn it over, you need to make a bet first. Black or red. Which one's gonna be? Lose the bet, and you lose the game. Wow, that's tough. The son of a bitch is almost unwinnable. I love to set an arbitrary rule that gives me a 50% chance at losing the game every single time it comes up. Let's bet black. Nope, we lost. Oh, for fuck's sake. I do want to play again. Is the rest of the stream going to be me trying to beat Impossible Solitaire? It might be. We may never see a Mothman again. Anyway, while I do this, how's everybody in chat? Oh, okay. Chillin', nice, good. Doing some crafting? What are you crafting? Would love to hear about crafts. I can't put an 8 on top of an 8, can I? No, okay. Can I do ace then too? I think I can. Yeah. Oof, okay. Alright, chat. I'm leaving this in your hands, red or black. Oh, I'm gonna do a poll. Hold on, I'm gonna do a poll. Because I can do that. Okay, I've started a poll. I spelled black wrong, but that's fine. Oh, you can't see the poll? That's weird. Alright, well, I won't do that then. But I will pick red. Oh, chat, you lost me the game. I can't believe it. Alright, I'm not gonna keep playing. That's good enough. You hear barking from the back of the station. Trent. Trent? Not a terrible name for a dog, I'll admit. When they brought him out, they told me his name was Chase. Fuck it, it's Trent for me. You know Trent, right? From the Moose? Tall, prominent belly and a scar parallel to the growth of his beard? You laugh heartily. Lou Hill might be a bit of a pain in the ass, but no one could deny that he was good with descriptions. You think about the book he's given you. He signed it and everything. Where did you leave it? I call him Trent because he barks like Trent on Open Mic Tuesdays. Come on, let's go to the garage and see the machine gun. Back to Victoria. I have to say, the amount I'm invested in Victoria Lee's storyline is 0. I want to know about the replica machine gun of a gun that never existed and the Mothmen. So is this his idea of a special date? Looking at shooting stars while holding your hand? Telling you his plans for the end of the semester? You can't stop thinking about the raw strength of the hug from a minute ago. Or how he scared the coyotes away by yelling and throwing stones at them. You think about your friend May, all those dark fantasies she told you about. But holding hands like this, smiling and talking and looking into each other's eyes, feels like giving up, doesn't it? You know you're to blame too. Aren't you playing the perfect girlfriend role? Don't you make eyes at him? Don't you say love whenever you call him? So is this it, Victoria? Is this what you want for the rest of your life? Why don't you make up your mind just for once? You think of May again, of those women she'd claimed to know who could solve your situation using a coat hanger. You wouldn't be the first or the last. The dog barks like a maniac, and you appreciate the distraction. mixture of guilt, anguish, and apathy takes over you. And now what? Why is he looking at you like that? Why doesn't he say anything? I don't know if Vic's attracted to bad boys, but I think she should stop being attracted to this man, who's awful. Has he asked you a question? Oh boy. I don't think either of these is going to go well. I'll be honest. He hates us. He's a terrible man. Answer anything? Okay. Maybe. Maybe? The doors, Victoria, and you tell me that maybe you're excited? You just smile. Smiling sometimes works. Freddie told me they're about to release their first album, and it seems they'll be playing in New York. And it does work. Lee keeps talking like nothing happened. Conversations in real life are nothing like those from books. Real life conversations are full of contradictions, twists and turns, repeated ideas. Are we going to see them live again then? Even though you try, you gradually stop listening to him. Hesitancy returns, and all those questions. And the fucking dog won't stop barking. What had been a distraction is now driving you crazy. What the hell is wrong with him? It's the Mothmen, Victoria. Shooting fucking stars. Why don't you make a wish, Victoria? How about going home, covering your head with a pillow, and sleeping for 18 hours straight? You feel like crying and try to calm down. Mothman! Mothman! Those eyes. Is she gonna fall in love with Mothman? That creature you thought you saw in the treetops with Lou's binoculars. Had it been real? Not just your imagination? Leave her Mothman! This is what I'm saying! Uh-oh. Vic. Hi, Dalton. Yes, a game, not only a game about Mothman, a game about Mothmen. And if the title's anything to go by, there might be 1,966 of them. You know what? I'm tired of it already. Exhausted. I've been trying and trying for more than 10 minutes. Can you tell me what's wrong with you? Ugh, Lee. You stay silent. You need to think. But Lee's right. It's not fair to either of you. With so much noise, it's impossible for you to concentrate. You know they're all excuses, though. Winged monsters don't exist, it's just your brain desperately trying not to focus on what's important. The sudden scream chills your blood. And silence takes over everything. Mothman. Vic should leave Lee and become Queen of the Mothman. I concur. Yeah, Dalton, you showed up just in time for Mothman. We've been going for an hour with no, or relatively little Mothmen. Have you met Lee? Tall guy with the blonde girl? He made xerographic copies of some docs I've used to assemble this beauty. Where did he get the docs from? You bite your lower lip. Do all writers ask so many questions? Lee works at the university, in the history department. Lou adjusts his glasses. You don't know why, but that gesture irritates you. The Winans doesn't work like a normal machine gun. Normal machine guns use gunpowder to fire projectiles, my god. Do you know what the Winans uses? Centrifugal force. Interesting. Lou repeats the gesture with the glasses. Today, Lee brought me some Ketchum grenades. Do you know about Ketchum grenades? Lou shakes his head and readjusts his glasses for the third time in less than 5 minutes. I relate to Lou so much. I'm constantly readjusting my glasses. You take a deep breath. Tell him about the Ketchum grenades. Yeah, although you can't stand Lou Refill Hill's tick, you enjoy talking about your collection of Civil War weapons. Ketchums are similar to footballs in shape. They have to land on their nose to explode. They were highly inefficient. In Port Hudson, for example, the Confederates used sheets to catch them without exploding, and then threw them back at the Union soldiers. Lou's about to say something when you hear a scream that makes your blood run cold. You grab the shotgun without thinking twice. It's coming from the back, come on. You don't have a good feeling about it. Something's not right. Mothman. Trent, no! Oh no, not the dog! Although it feels like a dream, somehow you know the creature's real. Your dog's suffering is real. And there'll be no waking up from this. We grab the gun. I say we shoot it with the weird centrifugal force gun. Why not? You aim your gun. Shit. But you don't have a clean shot. Alright, I guess we'll run to Trent. You hear the muffled moans of your dog, and the fury blinds you. You drop the shotgun and grab onto the chain. Son of a bitch is going to strangle Trent. Let's ask for help. Come on, hurry. But before they arrive, you feel the pull. Oh no! The floor disappears under your feet. Holt! Oh no. You know you should hit the floor soon. Don't move. Listen to Vic, Holt. Her sister's a nurse. No bones seem to be broken. My dog. Victoria and Lee help you to your feet. Lou doesn't take his eyes off the winged creature for a single second. He let go. He just let go. What? 1 second. I know where your dog is, Holt. Wait a minute. Got something in the car. Let's go. A gift from Freddy. Cool, right? You try to get up, but you feel dizzy and stumble. Victoria gives Lee a disapproving look and helps you keep your balance. Follow me. Thanks. You would have liked to smile at her. After all, Victoria just wants to help. But I can do it by myself. You get your rifle and walk with the rest into the blackness of the forest. We should go in. That direction. No. I think we should go that way. Lee. Now what? The place where Trent fell. I've calculated it by projecting the point where the creature dropped it onto this map. You've calculated? You've calculated, you say? Weren't you a writer? Lou, don't mind him. Do what you want. Lee's the worst. Constantly checking the map, Lou leads the group on. We should be close. There. Your heart is pounding. Please. Compress his chest. Use both hands, just like that. This whole thing, the fact that she knows what to do because her sister is a nurse, I'm calling bullshit on that. It wouldn't, but your sister being a nurse is not a way for you to know how to help an injured dog. Half my family is doctors, and I don't know shit about medicine. I wouldn't be able to help in this situation. How curious. Did you know that the cardiopulmonary resuscitation procedure was discovered by Dr. Knickerbocker while he was trying to save a dog? My instincts would take over, Gus. Do you think that's true? I think they wouldn't. I think my panic would set in, and I would shut down, probably, realistically. As he speaks, Luke carefully examines the tops of the trees. It was at Johns Hopkins University. Victoria rests her hands on yours and moves her head from side to side. You stop pressing, and a few tears roll down your cheek. Rest in peace to this dog. I'm so sorry, everybody. The interesting thing is what happened to the dog afterwards. Shut it, Lou. Lou adjusts his glasses. You look at Victoria. You're too afraid your voice would break to say thank you. Why didn't you shoot? Why didn't you try to blow the creature's brains out? Deep down, you know that's just the guilt talking, and that maybe there was nothing you could have done differently to save him. Alright, chat's trying to convince me that I could give a dog CPR in a crisis. I would like to make extremely clear that I don't think I could give a dog CPR in a crisis. I just think that's an important thing to know about oneself. And I'm confident that I would not be able to give a dog CPR in a crisis. Lee, have you seen Lee? You stand up and look around. Lee's gone. Good riddance. Good riddance, Lee's gone. Let him stay that way. Let Mothman get him. Alright, friends. I need to go get some more tea. So I'm going to take a quick break. Hold on. Let me edit my starting soon audio. Or text. Here we go. Nope. Alright, I'll be back in 2 or 3 minutes. Bye. Okay. Time for more Mothmen. You walk faster to keep your thoughts at bay. What the hell is wrong with her? Why does she even listen to him? Writer, says the fucker. What a loser. You walk through the woods confident that you will be the one to find Holt's dog. Please let him get got by Mothman. Please let him get got by Mothman. What then, Vic? What weird little face will you make? Oh, these guys. God, this art is so good. The way the eyes in the middle panel are twinkling. Holy shit, I love this. Hello? You feel like someone's watching you. You're walking through a dense forest area where the darkness is almost total. You walk even faster than before. Finally, you reach a clearing and look at the sky. The meteor shower is gaining intensity. Your heart is in anguish and you find it hard to breathe. Are you watching the Leonids, Victoria? Are you? She didn't care about them, my man. She didn't care in the first place. You hold your head in your hands. Oh my god, we can make him cry. Oh, buddy. I don't feel bad for you at all. You're awful. Time to cry. Oh, I got an achievement called Macho Cry for making him cry. Oh, the last time you cried like this, you were 16. Are we gonna get his tragic backstory here? God. You'd come home early and found him hitting your mother. You tried to separate them and your father took it out on your ribs. His blows were like a rain of sledgehammers and his breath reeked of alcohol. He pushed you against the wall and you ended up on the floor. Lily, yes, the men in black are here. They were in the prologue. They showed up, for anyone who missed it, they showed up and asked Holt about a weird dream he had about his grandmother, and then one of them took one of his cards and bit the corner off of it, and then they disappeared. Oof, won't hit you in the face because it's the only thing you got going for you. Jesus. And one day you won't have it anymore. You carry your father's photo in your wallet, not to remember how good he looked. Hell no. Whenever the pain was too much, you'd scratch his entire face until his features blended with the cuts in the paper. What the? You seem to hear something. A kind of rumor. You think of the noise hands make when they shake the dust off of an old volume. A river? You try to think about the map you've got in the car. You can't remember seeing a river here. Further west, sure, but here? As you get closer, you hear it more clearly. Mothman. You feel a kind of calm. Not peace, but I didn't see what that said. My bad. Hit enter too fast. Suddenly the whitest light you've ever seen floods the ground. Even when there's no river nearby, the sound is deafening. What? You feel the light pulse with painful intensity, as if millions and millions of red ants were sinking their little jaws into your skin. Pain turns into light. You want to scream, but you have no mouth. Hey, that's a short story. Nor larynx or lungs. And the white that precedes everything consumes you. Are we gonna get a death screen, or is this okay? Is this fine? You don't know how long it takes. You feel the urgency of what is yet to be. And white makes you desperate. What? What? This is great. You feel the white light leaving your body. And you hear your own voice screaming at the top of your lungs. It sure looks like Chupacabra. It sure does. We get the men in black back again. Oh, I love them. You drop to the floor and cover your head with both hands. You're filled with a sense of completeness that you cannot explain. We all need a little darkness. back to Victoria. Lee! Where's that idiot? Calm down, Victoria. Lee knows how to take care of himself. Holt's right. Lee's going to show up eventually. Did you know that he chased away a pack of coyotes with screams, some stones, and a blow to the hood of his car? Lou smiles. You wonder if it's authentic or a calculated gesture to show some empathy. Holt? What? What's your business with Lee? Holt looks at you for a few seconds before answering. You think of one of the computers at the campus, the IBM 7040. You know what it's called because you once wrote a poem with that title. Holt is like that computer. From the outside, it's impossible to tell what it's evaluating before giving you an answer. I shouldn't tell you anything. Holt lowers his voice. But you shut Lou up back there, and I'm going to make an exception. Holt tells you about Lee's business, the sale of original Civil War pieces, the xerographic copies of historical documents. Don't worry, he knows what he's doing. You hear twigs snapping. Who's there? Grandma? Oh my god. Grandma? The sight of Holt's grandmother holding an old rifle mesmerizes you. The whole thing looks like an image from some Wyeth painting. I don't know that there's a Wyeth painting where any of the people have rifles. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't call this a Wyeth painting. A wet dream for almost any of your classmates, an image that not only defies gender stereotypes, but also demolishes social constructs like that of grandma in classic stories. Oh my god. The expression on Holt's grandmother's face changes. Her features soften. My legs. Grandma! Holt picks up his grandma and helps her sit against a tree trunk. He looks at his dog's corpse and beckons you to come closer. I need to bury Trent before carrying on. You nod your head. How do you feel, ma'am? Confused? Here, Victoria. You didn't hear him approach. You grab the handkerchief without thinking twice. A strange feeling runs through your body. Shouldn't you have at least considered some other option? Clean up her legs. You rub the handkerchief against her calves and gradually remove the mud stains. Scrub harder. I was probably your age when I stopped feeling my legs. Holt's grandmother sighs and closes her eyes. Have you ever seen so many moles together? Lou speaks almost in whispers. You wonder why. Let's go. Lou picks up the old rifle and examines it briefly. Holt looks at you with an expression you can't quite make out. Are you okay? No, you're not okay. But what are you going to tell him? That you're pregnant? That your boyfriend is missing? That winged creatures out of old pulp magazines are apparently more than just fiction? You walk for a while in silence. What was... Try to think of something else, Victoria. A few minutes ago, you all started hearing the screams, noticing sudden movements in the treetops. We're almost there. Y'all? That's a lot of Mothmen. That's a whole lot of Mothmen. I mean, no complaints, believe me, but this does not seem good for the people involved. That's got to be at least 1,966 Mothmen. Exactly, this is what I'm saying. You find it hard to believe what you're seeing. Why are all these creatures flying over the gas station? Interesting. Holt punches Lou in the shoulder. What? Interesting? Did you find it interesting what they did to Trent? Mercy of Collar, you can date all those Mothmen, you just need to believe in yourself. We're not in one of your cheap books, Lou. A sudden silence befalls the group. Should I suggest a plan, or should I wait? I think I should suggest a plan. Listen. No, you just cover me. You close your fist tightly, trying to exorcise the impotence you feel. Was it that hard for him to hear what you had to say? You shake your head from side to side. What's even the plan? Running with his grandma in his arms? Why does he have to be the hero? Hold! The shriek chills your blood. Fuck. Lou looks at you as if waiting for something. How many bullets in your rifle? 3. Hope it's enough. Are we gonna get a minigame? Oh, is it gonna be a minigame? Hold and Elsie are halfway to the gas station. 2 winged creatures on the street lamps. The light, Victoria. These creatures seek the light. Alright. Let's try this. Aim for... How many lamps are there? Lamp on the left, farthest lamp on the right, center lamp on the... Oh, I see. I see. Closest lamp on the right. Two bullets left. The winged creature flies to the farthest pole, and it does so over Holt and Elsie's heads. Desperate, you run to it. Oh, alas. The winged creatures rush at you. Another good death screen, though. Thank you for F's in the chat. I really like I think the death screens are really cool. Alright. The pain blurs your vision and you lose consciousness. Retry. Yes, please. Alright. Three, two, one. Shoot. Now let's try running. Nope. Okay. Yeah, the death screens do look like they're being held up by 3 Mothmen. Shoot left lamp and you... Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Oh, too far away. We've wasted a bullet. Okay. I don't think this is going to be the run, my friends. Oh, okay. I mean, this is still bad, but it's nice to know that when you shoot, that you can get him over there. Alright. Let's see how this goes. Nope. Didn't help. Alright, I'm learning Mothman behaviors. Let's think about this. If I shoot the light out from under them, they'll go to the nearest light. If they fly from the middle light to the farthest light, they kill us. I can't shoot the left first because I actually can't shoot the left period because it's too far away for Lou to hit. What do you mean, because he's not aiming right? I think if I shoot out the center lamp, they won't be able to fly center to left. Which means they shouldn't fly directly over Holt and Elsie's heads. So he should safely get over to the other side. Now do I run to them? Okay. I think we're on the right track, though. We want to shoot out the center one so they can't go to it. Let him fly over there. And then what happens if I do this? We love process of elimination, personally. Oh, hey! There we go. The two creatures fight, take flight, and get lost in the night. That's a line from my computer poetry. All clear. Help me with Holt and Elsie, and let's get inside fast. Oh god, the art looks so good here. Is someone going to make a wish? You laugh under your breath. You look at Holt and he looks away. You wonder if he's pissed because you saved him. You still can't believe everything that happened tonight. You know that as soon as you stop to think, you touch your belly and fight back tears. Lou looks at his watch. Guys, look at these Mothmen. The Leonids are reaching their point of highest intensity, and these Mothmen are looking cool as hell. The screeching is deafening. Freaking creatures. I think I saw one in a dream. God, all of them standing up on top of the roof like they're in a little Mothmen gang. Lou was about to add something, but suddenly falls silent. Also, the music here is great. You approach the window and rest your hand on the glass. Mothmen dance. You can't stop looking at their dance. Before meeting Lee, you'd had some experiences in college, experiences by which you'd sought to open up the doors of your perception. Lee doesn't know, and you don't know how he would react if he found out. But the strange dance of these creatures in the sky beats anything you experienced while tripping. I think seeing Mothmen dance would. Easily. Oh, sorry. Taking a sip of my tea. Oh, I forgot to read these. I'm sorry. One afternoon, Liam, his only nephew, stole a bear head. The head had been emptied of viscera and was floating in a solution his uncle used in the early stages of the miniaturization process. Liam lifted the head out of the bucket, wiped it dry, and put it on like a helmet. He stripped naked, left the house, and ran into the village. Liam entered the church in the middle of Mass, screaming at the top of his lungs, waving his arms up and down as if he were clawing. One of the congregation members pulled out a gun and shot him. You remember the sheer terror you felt when you saw the bear man running towards the altar. This is worse. Worse? Worse than what? Change the topic. You don't feel like retelling something you already want over in your head. What about you, Lou? I guess you heard some things, right? Lou adjusts his glasses. Lou Refill Hill? You think I don't know what they call me in town? It may be true that some people make up stuff to get a beer, but imaginations have limits. and in the long run, we tend to rely on real experiences when telling a story. Mothmen. They're somehow related to the Leonids and the gathering of all these creatures. Maybe he's right, and all the creatures outside started to appear after the aerial dance of these Mothmen. Mothmen? Why the name? Moths are attracted to light. You look at the sky illuminated by dozens and dozens of shooting stars, and you nod. You like the name, not because of Lou's explanation, but because you know it's easy to squash a moth. This isn't the first time that Mothmen have appeared during the Leonids. Among some other references, they're mentioned in the oral histories of the Ojibwe, collected in the diary of a Jesuit missionary in 1683, who even dares to draw them. Many believe that the creatures described in this diary are thunderbirds, but the Jesuits' drawing looked much more like Mothmen. And the most interesting part is that he draws lines around them. Some researchers think that these lines are kinetic, a way of representing the speed of the creatures. Lou slides a finger across the glass following the trajectory of a shooting star in the sky. But I think these drawings depict Mothmen with the Leonids in the background. We're talking 1633, 1666 maybe. Grandma? Better? What are those shrieks, love? It's painful for you to see how confused she is. 1 second. You turn on the radio. Static. No matter which way you turn the dial, all you hear is static. You'd never sung at the Moose. Not even on those nights when everyone egged you on and the booze in your system had drowned your inhibitions. Almost without realizing it, you start singing the lullaby Elsie used to sing to make you sleep. Although more than 40 years have passed, the words come to your mind one after the other. You close your eyes and caress her hair, singing all the time. As soon as you feel the rhythmic breathing of your grandmother, you get up. What was that? Oh man, not this guy again. Lee? Victoria tries to hug Lee while he babbles something you don't understand. At no time does he look up. Where the hell have you been? Victoria. I thought... But he's here. Give him some space. Thank you. Lee takes a few seconds to start speaking. I think I got lost in the forest. Babe, take it easy. Victoria grabs his arm and Lee tries to smile. I thought I heard the sound of a river, and I felt someone looking at me. After walking for a while, the noise was deafening, but there was no river. Lee starts to cry. Victoria tries to calm him down. As soon as he regains his composure, Lee keeps talking. And then came the white. I don't know how to explain it. It was as if I could see everything and nothing at the same time. And a goat looked up to the sky to watch the shooting stars. It stood on 2 legs, like this, you know? Just like us. What the hell is going on? I think the time has come. Let me tell you a few things. Luke clears his throat and begins to speak. Although you can't stand his tics or his false dramatics, you want to know what's going on. The Leonids occur every 33 years. Some are intense, like those of 1833, or the ones in 1866. Others are weak, 1899, for example. And those are the ones we have records of. You notice that Victoria grabs Lee's hand. Lou walks over to the window and points to the sky. This year they're intense again. 1866, 1966, why a 100-year difference and not 99? That 1-year discrepancy bothers me too. And I think it has to do with the problems of our calendar and the periodic adjustments that we're forced to make. Tell me, have you ever seen a medieval manuscript? No one answers. Just as you're about to open your mouth, Luke continues. They are usually adorned with warrior rabbits standing on 2 legs. Do you think these rabbits came from the imagination of medieval scribes alone? Those rabbits existed, and they were annihilated by man. Each meteor shower spawns new bipeds, and it was in one of these storms that mankind arose. What makes us different from all of them is that we survived. By destroying any other biped that came along, or by reducing them to the realm of gossip or fiction. Outside, the creatures begin to fight. Why? What motivates them? And what about Lou? Should you believe everything he says? After all, Lou's a writer. Your grandma's cough sounds like the noise of a tractor's engine refusing to start. Grandma? You have to kill them all. The voice with which she speaks seems to come from much further back than her throat. We had a secret weapon, and we would use it to finish off the upright beasts. But they decided to test it in the war. This voice was a mistake. This is gonna kill my throat. Elsie? What are you talking about? I wanted to take the Winans from the battlefield, and they... Your grandma caresses her legs. I just want to finish the mission. Hell yeah, metal grandma indeed. Victoria and Lee look at each other. Lou walks up to you and tells you almost in a whisper, I bet the moles on your grandma's legs correspond exactly to her grandpa's wounds. Did you ever tell Lou about your grandma's legs? You're confused, and Lou seems to notice. It's not just free beers at the Moose, Holt. People tell me things. Lou speaks softly, but his words resonate loudly in your head. The moles on your grandmother's legs? Her grandfather's legs riddled by bullets in the Civil War? Could it be that Elsie's grandfather was talking to you through your grandmother's body? The Winans? A project that had obsessed you for a long time, and now you think you know why. You decide not to think too much about Elsie, her grandfather, the moles, the men in black. You're terrified that behind all your decisions, something more than your own free will was at work. Come on. Quick, let's get her out! No, it's still not working. What do you mean it's not working? Oh my god, I can't do this voice anymore. It has some kind of safety mechanism, and I still haven't been able to assemble it successfully. Oh good, a puzzle. Here, see? The L's. You look at Lou with curiosity. On the blueprints there, those L's are the rubric of a secret society founded in the middle of the last century. It's not so secret if you know about it, is it? Lou doesn't answer you. Why the L? Some say it's because of the way the knight moves on a chessboard. Others say it's because of Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in Wonderland. Exactly. Lou closes his eyes, holds a hand to the bridge of his nose, and clears his throat. Can this guy be any more affected? A stick I found that weighed 2 pounds. I sawed it up one day. In pieces 8 of equal weight. How much did each piece weigh? Everybody says 1/4 pound, which is wrong. A riddle at this moment? Victoria strokes her chin and Lee nods his head slightly as if he's counting something. Do you think it's time for a riddle, Lou? Lou raises his hands and moves aside. You take a deep breath. It shouldn't be that hard to find the right configuration. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be... I hate puzzles like this. Okay, what have we got? Alright, chat. Any thoughts? I'm so bad at visual puzzles. I'm notoriously bad at visual puzzles. don't think I'm gonna go for the walkthrough yet. I think I might talk to Lou. I believe that if I sat here for about 3 hours, I could probably figure it out, but I don't think that's fun for you all. Or me. What was that about the order, Lou? Lou smiles. His smile seems authentic and you listen to him. The poem I recited to you earlier is by Lewis Carroll. Yes, yes, yes. It's mentioned in one of the manifestos in the Order of the L. A stick I found that weighed 2 pounds. I sawed it up one day. In pieces 8 of equal weight. How much did each piece weigh? We don't have time for you to find the answer. Lou looks at you and you shake your head. So I'm going to tell you, the answer is not 1/4 of a pound like everyone says. The answer is a little less than 1/4 of a pound. You have to take into account the weight that is lost with the dust when you saw the stick. I don't think this helps me solve this puzzle, but okay. The answer may not convince you, but for the Order it represents something important. The answer highlights the difference between abstractions and the real world. In an abstract reality, cutting a branch does not produce dust, but it does in our daily life. One of the main goals of the Order was to bring their riddles, games, and puzzles to the real world. Lou stands next to you. Can I try hold? They're screaming outside. You look at your grandmother, or rather your grandmother's grandfather, possessing her body. You wonder if you should accept Lou's help or keep trying yourself. Either way, you're grateful Lou has stopped talking. I'll let Lou help. I'm glad it lets me do that. That's nice. I'm glad it doesn't force me to solve this puzzle. Although outside the creature's shouts are getting louder, you can't help but feel a certain happiness. The Winans is finally complete. Now everybody out! Elsie stands next to the Winans holding a rifle. Lee, Lou, and Victoria stand back a little. You crack your knuckles and take a deep breath. At the helm of the Winans' steam-powered machine gun, you feel something strange. You find it hard to put into words. It's as if somehow the present has given way to the past. Rabbit men! They are weak creatures, cannon fodder in the war against the upright beasts. This one's pretty straightforward, at least. Beware of the dogmen. They're behind the rabbit men. The dogmen are more resistant than the rabbit men. And if you hurt them without killing them, they get mad. Well, I have to do this. Uh-oh. He mad. Ah, she's here to cover me, but don't get too confident. I can kill one upright beast, and then I need to reload. Okay. I do prefer the pieces of these games that are visual novel more so than whatever this is, but that's fine. I don't want to send Elsie away. I need her. Mothmen! Mothmen! If you manage to wound them without killing them, they go crazy and run like a stampede. You can take advantage of them to generate a chain effect. That's fun. I'll try that. Sick. That was great. Alas. Although you try to defend yourself, the jaws of a creature close around your neck and you bleed to death. Yet another good death screen, though. I'll say that much. Owlmen resist like dogmen or moosemen, but if you hurt them without killing them, they fly to the front, so be careful. Oops. Nope. It would help if I knew my left from my right, I think. That would make this minigame a little easier. Alright. What are we thinking here? He'll fly to the front, she'll shoot him. Nope. Well, none of these options are great. Let's try this. Go look for them. But if we're going to fight here, we all fight together. I think that was just... I can opt to stop the minigame at any point in time and jump to a different character. Alright, sure. I don't want to keep running away. I should be out there and win my Red Badge of Courage. The Red Badge of Courage is the title of that Civil War novel you read and reread over and over again. It tells the story of a Union soldier who flees the battlefield. From that first act of cowardice, the only thing the protagonist longs for is to receive a war wound. The definitive proof that he had become a man. Your Red Badge of Courage? You want a real Red Badge of Courage, Lee? I'm pregnant. What a way to tell him. Your head spins. You find it difficult to organize your thoughts. You're gonna be a father? You think of your own father, of all your suffering. I don't know if... I'm a coward, Vic. Lee. Did you know that Stephen Crane wrote Red Badge of Courage without ever having set foot on a real battlefield? The first time you saw Lou, you wanted to twist his arm and bring him to his knees. Now you smile and put an arm on his shoulder. Thanks, Lou. Come out and fight! None of you move. Out, I said! My Red Badge of Courage. He's so dumb. Lee, don't! Uh-oh. Elsie lunges at you with unbelievable force and makes the rifle point at you. Oh, I wish we could continue on with him dying, but alas. I have to figure out the right order in which to push and pull this gun from this old woman. Push. You push, Elsie rotates her shoulders and the rifle points at your chest. Okay, so I can't push. So I have to pull. The rifle points at the ceiling. If I push, she loses her balance. The rifle points at her body. If I push again, you hear a shot. I've shot the grandmother, okay? It wasn't Holt's grandmother, Lee. Your hands are shaking. You didn't fire the rifle. However, somehow you've been able to feel the different endings. You knew that in one of them, Elsie would be shot, and yet you didn't stop. Ah! She's alive! They shot me! The resilience of the possessed? You don't know why you're surprised. After all, Holt's grandmother is possessed by her own grandfather, a soldier who fought in the Civil War and was mowed down by a machine gun. The same machine gun whose bursts you now hear outside the gas station, tearing apart creatures not mentioned in any biology textbooks. Eat bullets, you sons of bitches! Shit's getting wild. I liked it better when it was just Mothmen, though, I'll admit. You don't think about it too much. As Holt fires the Winnin's machine gun, you run as fast as you can. If you want to survive, you have to get away from there. The only word you can think of to describe what you see is pandemonium, and not only in the traditional sense, a place of noise and confusion, but in the original sense of the word, the place where all demons congregate. Lee tries to make himself heard over the gunfire and the shrieks of the creatures. To your left, Vic! You feel jaws closing not far from your neck. You try to run faster. Get down! You duck down and feel the claws of a creature graze the back of your neck. You keep running. Right! I'm just trusting him. I don't think I have a choice. A pigman tries to grab your arm, but you manage to get away. You're almost there. You get in the car and slam the door shut. You hear a knock and you jump in your seat. Let's go! Let's go! Lee speeds up, and the pandemonium is soon behind you. You think about Lee's previous car. What a clunker. And now you know how Lee managed to buy a car like this one. Holt told you. Poor Holt. The Leonids, upright beasts, intrafamilial possession, experimental weapons, the Order of the L's, Men in Black, and Mothmen. There they are, the topics of my next book. Alright, Lou. You tucked your belly. With all that you suffered tonight, Lou's comment seems a bit inappropriate. You travel in silence for a few minutes. Are you alright, Lee? Yeah, right what you know. Tell me about it. You look a little pale. Lee takes a few seconds to answer. I don't know. Lee scratches his head. I can see things before they happen, Vic. Lou leans forward. It's not that I see the future. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I can see several presents just before they happen. Almost like a sort of choose-your-own-adventure novel, or a video game. Come on, babe. Victoria. What you're saying, Lee, have you felt it since the episode you told us with the white light? Lee's hands are tightly clasped on the steering wheel. It's not like I can control it. The first time I felt it was in the struggle with Elsie, and the second when we were running to the car. Lee looks you in the eyes, and suddenly you can feel all his pain. In some of the presents, the creatures, Vic, Lee's voice breaks. The creatures, and he begins to cry. You feel him gradually calming down with the contact. He rests his head on your hand, and you stroke his cheek. After a few minutes, you remove your hand and settle back into your seat. You look for Lou in the rearview mirror and see him jotting something in his notebook. Lou seems to always be writing in one way or another. You envy his tenacity. And you wonder if maybe that's what it takes to be a writer. What a face. Oh my god. Lee steps on the brakes and opens the door on his side. Wait here. What happened? Can you see anything from there? You shake your head. Here he comes. A goat baby? It's hurt, Vic. Although neither of you say anything, you think you know what you have to do. Lee kisses you on the mouth and starts the car. In the backseat, Lou clears his throat. I don't want to be anticlimactic, but the demonization of the god Pan, Satan as a male goat. You do know that there are records throughout history of bloody wars against goatmen, don't you? The end. Wow. Alright, well that was Mothmen 1966. I was hoping for more Mothmen, but goat babies are okay too, you know? Alright, yeah, so that was Mothmen 1966. Like I said, this is one of a series of these pixel pulps. I'm thinking about checking out Varney Lake, which is the one that was recommended to me at some point in the nearish future. That one's about a sort of Stand By Me-esque, 1950s summer, and also that there's a vampire there. So that's pretty cool. Thank you all for hanging out tonight. Oh, an epilogue? 8 years later. ... The men in black are back. The goat baby. The moral of the story, perhaps it is man who is the true Mothman. So true, bestie. I hope this goat baby's doing alright. Oh, we can play solitaire. I'll play I'll try solitaire for one more round. Rules are simple, but winning, there's a reason why it's called the impossible solitaire. Did I get all the Chieves? I think I probably didn't get all of them, because there are probably some you can only get per choice you make. Like, I got one for making Lee cry, and I probably would have gotten a different one for not making Lee cry. So I don't think I got all the Chieves, but I think I got a decent enough number of them, you know? And I'm not Jim. I don't need all of the achievements. I'm fine. I'm normal. I am going to be playing this impossible solitaire game for a while. Oops. That one. Thank you. Ah, fuck. Thank you for coming, Lily. All right, I'm not going to continue to play the solitaire game for now. Oh, it just pops me back into the game. That's funny. We'll go back to the main menu here. Yes, I'm sure. Okay, yeah, so that's Mothman 1966. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Roman and I will be back with Baldur's Gate eventually, but unfortunately, it has apparently become unplayable on Max temporarily. and they are waiting for that to get fixed before we can stream it again. So maybe I'll stream a few more little things like this in the coming weeks. We shall see. All right. Good night, everyone.